Hi guys, it's Kozikura, and I have a request to do a Resident Evil rant. They did not specify on what I should do, but I am going to do all Resident Evil. I am planning on doing the books, the movies, and the games, and try to cover the different versions of the games. I don't know how that's going to work out because I haven't played every version. So let's start right in with the game that started it all. Resident Evil Zero, which was released in 2002, and it stars Rebecca Chambers and Billy Cohen. It basically starts off one day before the mansion incident, which is Resident Evil 1. Rebecca Chambers is with the Stars Bravo team and decides to check out the gruesome murders in the Alkali Mountains, which is what Alpha Team was doing in Resident Evil 1. Actually, they went to go check for Bravo. So they're on their way, something happens, and the helicopter crashes. Rebecca goes off to investigate after finding a sheet that tells about the transport that was killing Billy Cohen, and she comes across I believe it's called the Eclipse train, the Eclipse Express, which you find out is a Umbrella vehicle to take to the lab. She goes in, and some of the I actually love the environments in this game. They look so beautiful. But she goes to investigate, and guess what? Zombies have come out. Later on, she finds Billy Cohen, and they decide to figure out what the hell's going on. But if you want the story, it'll take too long to cover the stories in each game. So we're just gonna jump right into the gameplay. Gameplay plays like Resident Evil Remake, like the remake, and Kavalanka a little bit. We're gonna. This game was bashed a lot for having no item boxes and for the tag team thing. Yes, the item box thing was. They should have kept them. But the tag team thing wasn't really that bad. I really did like this game. It introduced new enemies, like, for example, the leech monsters and the monkey hunters. It was an okay story. People didn't like Billy Cohen. They thought Billy Cohen was pretty lame. I think we should revisit him at least. I think it'd be interesting to see Billy and Rebecca meet up again. But I really like this game. I don't know why people hated it so much. Yeah, there were some problems, like the item boxes. But I think it's just bashed on because they try to do something different. Again, the story is okay. They have your typical enemies, the tyrant, the zombies, the zombie dogs. Yeah, I like the final boss. I thought the final boss was somewhat easy. Like, the Queen Leech was pretty bad. But I thought it was a fun game. The environments are beautiful, like I've said. They have new inventory, like the grappling gun, that you don't use that often. The bosses were okay, like the bat in the beginning of this 2 was, I didn't see a point for a gigantic bat. I think it was a gigantic bat. I don't know. But, like I said, I won't go very far into the stories because it'll take too long. So, we are going to hop right into the second game. Actually, I covered everything. Probably could do more, but, we're just going to hop right in. Again, like I said, no quick review. Basically a quick review and a quick overlook, because I have a lot to cover. The next game we'll be talking about is Resident Evil 1. A game that really, if you want to be technical, actually, Resident Evil 0 started it all. But the first Resident Evil game. The game that has been known throughout the land. Yes. For its crappy voice acting. But again, that's just talk about the PS1 version first. The PS1 version had just started, of course, like I mentioned, with the Alkali Mountains, the very, very bad voice acting and the FMV sequences, but it started out with the Alpha team going into check on Bravo team. They find the pilot dead, and they then get attacked by dogs, which then goes on into the mansion, which starts the mansion incident. Continuing on with that, we are introduced to Jill, Bailey, Chris, Wesker, and on Chris's story, Rebecca, who had, at the end of Resident Evil 0, escaped inside the mansion and had come in. Yeah, sucks to be her. She gets screwed over so much. And according to what you can do, you can get the different endings or not. But it was a fun game. I never actually played the original version. I went to a remake, but we'll be getting to that version soon. Yeah, not much to talk about with Resident Evil 1. It's basically started the series. The inventory system, the item boxes, amazingly bad controls, but introduced the enemies that made staples the series, the hunters. The lickers didn't show until 2, but the zombies, the zombie dogs, which actually Resident Evil 1 was heavily influenced by Savage Guest and the Alone the Dog series. Like they even took a couple of the scenes from Alone the Dog, like the monster breaking through the glass thing. So yeah, props to those games for making one of the best series that I loved and grew up on happen. And let's go into the director's cut about Resident Evil 1. Stupid messages. Basically the same gameplay, but there were different additions like the advanced mode, which had new camera angles, different items and enemy placements, more powerful handgun, different costumes, for Chris, Jill, and I think they added one for Rebecca. And there's this beginner setting, which the amount of ammunition is available and doubled. And Forrest Spiral was introduced as a zombie, one of the Bravo team members. Another, I think that was all that was changed. Again, I came into remake, so yeah. And let me check my time. Let's just talk about the remake version really quick. The remake version it was completely different. They had a lot of new different. The cutscenes that were FMVs were the FMV cutscenes were then done with CGI and the CG stuff. The voice acting was done by a completely different cast. So you still had the crappy lines. We didn't have them in a crappy voice. Some of the puzzles were redone, and Chris and Jill could have defensive weapons. I think Jill had a taser and Chris had knives. Yeah, they had the endings, and that's about it. A lot was changed, but like the cutscenes were really well done. So they added a couple of different things that I can't really remember, but buy Resident Evil Remake if you have to pick one of them. But I am reaching 10 minutes, so that is the first part of the Resident Evil rant. Next we will talk about RE2, RE3, RE4, probably mention Code Veronica, maybe talk about Survival, the books, and the movies. So, hopefully we'll see you soon. I am Kazuko, and I am out.